guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm back here at Land Rover of Tampa, also known as Reeves Land Rover, and we have it, the mighty return. This is an all-new 2020 Land Rover Defender 110. But before we dive into this SUV, let's talk about what this vehicle represents. Land Rover, that iconic British brand, really been around since about 1948. Now, what's interesting is that in 1983, when this vehicle technically was first produced, they didn't call it a Defender. It was either called the 90 or the 110. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what do those numbers mean? It's based off the wheelbase. 90 is a shorter wheelbase. We have the 110, that's the longer wheelbase, the four-door usability. We haven't had a Defender here in the United States since 1997. Basically sold them from 93 to 97, known as the Land Rover Defender. Other countries, though, they continued production well into about 2016. But 2020 is such a big deal because this marks the triumphant return of the Defender. Now, Land Rover in the 21st century is bringing some excellent style, but one thing that they're definitely not skimping on is that off-road capability. So let's go ahead, dive into this Defender. This one is the SE trim, and see, really, is it the ultimate, not only Land Rover, but off-road SUV. Right off the bat, the styling. I love what they've done with the lines. Now, one thing I want to point out is on this particular SE trim, they actually have less of that flat black plastic, more of the beautiful paint. And what that does is it really shows that nice flared fender look. Now, when we're looking at the headlight design, of course, you're going to have full LED headlight, daytime running lamp. I think it was so smart the way they took the styling from the past and put that 21st century flair. And if you notice with the extra lighting on the side, that mimics other Land Rover vehicles. Now, as you toggle down, nice bright silver, you can see all the multiple holes there. You have LED lower fog lamps. And then when we come across that front grille section, it just screams not only Land Rover, but also Defender. Classic with a little bit of gloss black. You have that British green, British racing green, iconic name Land Rover since 1948. We do have the Defender name stuck onto the hood. That's gonna be my one zonk. I just wish that they would take these letters and actually kind of sink them into the hood a little bit, but still very bold, very off-road. Now, as you drop down, you have this egg crate style flat black, and then we have more bright silver. Now, this is in the lowest setting, which gives us about 5.8 inches of ground clearance. This does have, of course, the air ride suspension. We will, for the video, and just so you know, be able to lift this up and get even more ground clearance. 2-speed transfer case, of course, all-wheel drive. Now, on this corner, I kind of want to use the sun to showcase how you have that functional side scoop here to help with the cooling. All the different materials, the flat black with the silver just really pops nicely. Now, when we get up onto the hood, absolutely stunning. You have this beautiful flat black graphic with the 110, because remember, 110, this is the 4-door. If you see 90, that's going to be the 2-door. A little bit of gloss black and this nice textured design on each of the tops of the fenders, but really, really clean. I love the way the hood has a nice rise in the center, makes it look really aggressive. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with on this particular Land Rover Defender SE trim? You're going to find these 20-inch wheels. Now, real simple in design, but if you look at pictures of old Defenders from the past, it really takes on that styling. Now, behind that 20-inch wheel, you have a massive 6-piston caliper. I like the way they didn't use any gloss on the caliper. Nice flat silver, almost gives it a nice powder-coated look. This one is wrapped in specific off-road tires that were selected by the factory. So you actually get a less aggressive off-road tire from the factory. This one has the Goodyear off-road tires that are selected. Reeves put them on, really shows the capability of how when you put some tires on, you're gonna have the stronger sidewall, gonna allow you to grip. It's a 255 on the width and a meaty 60s series sidewall. I don't know if Victor could show off the suspension that's hiding behind this massive off-road tire. That, remember, air ride suspension will be able to lift it up. I do like, as we kind of back out from the suspension, the nice flat black around. It's just high enough. Like I said, if you go on a different trim, it'll come up higher. This one comes a little bit lower. I like the style. As it goes down into that massive lower sill area, we have a little bit of gloss black, the Defender name stamped On the side, this is a functional air vent. I'm gonna have Victor kind of showcase. Look at how right behind the hood you have this lower area to help bring hot air out. It's just the styling. If you stare at this vehicle for a little while, there's just so many little fine touches, and that's what I think they really hit the nail on the head. Even in the A-pillar. So when you look at the A-pillar, they brought the gloss black. They could have blacked out this whole thing, but they didn't. They brought the gloss black into the side mirrors, all gloss black. Of course, you're gonna have cameras and your exterior lighting. Gloss black on your roof, and it's got that classic just boxy style look that I think people are craving now. They don't want any more of these rounded shapes. Nice, strong off-road look. 110, we talk about wheelbase. The wheelbase is the space between the front wheel and the rear wheel. That's gonna give us a 110. The 4-door capability. I like the way they brought the color onto the rear quarter windows here with the Land Rover badge. And then as we work our way to the back, you have very, very low roof rails. And then when we get to the back, just like the front, they did a bang up job. Look at the detail, the attention to detail with the LED taillights, even with your reverse lights, nice square and rectangle design, little bit of silver that goes into this lower bumper area. There's our Land Rover badge. And then of course you have the spare. We're not gonna take up space on the inside. We're just gonna mount it right to the back. I'm gonna make Victor earn his money here. You can see how they real cleanly have the Defender badge name here. This is the P400 SE. Even the way they mounted the handle to open up, because remember, this is gonna swing on open real nicely, which we'll show more of that when we get to the interior, but that's how it opens. But why don't we go ahead? We talked about the outside. Let's pop the hood and see what's powering this Defender. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on this Godwanda Stone. That's the name of the color. Land Rover Defender. Underneath the hood, something familiar that we have featured in other Land Rovers and Range Rovers. Not the sexiest of engine covers. You do have 2 hydraulic hood struts. You're looking at a 3-liter inline 6 that is turbocharged with an electric supercharger, producing 395 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. The vehicle weighs 5,165 pounds. Towing capacity, yes, you could off-road and you could tow. 8,201 pounds. MPGs, you're looking at 17 in the city, 22 on the highway. It's been a while since we've had the Defender here in the United States. The good news is that not only do we have the Defender back, but you have lots of different ways to option this vehicle, especially with this 6-cylinder, which is the way I would definitely go. But why don't we go ahead? We talked about the outside, we talked about underneath the hood. Let's get to that interior and see what Land Rover is bringing to the off-road table. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Land Rover Defender. I know you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking. Wow, this Defender, it fits the part. It's so aggressive with its styling and really just so unique. How much is it? MSRP for this particular one, remember, with the optional Goodyear approved tires from Land Rover, those off-road tires, you're looking at MSRP around $76,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Now at the top of the door panel, you're gonna get this nice soft material. It's almost like a wetsuit, like a neoprene material. The way they bring the color throughout the whole door panel, very, very nice touches. The exposed screws, even like the armrest has a nice look that's soft. This has the Meridian sound system, and then you have a large pocket down there for your off-road British scones and some English tea that you can make along the way on your journey. Now, as we come to the dash, look at this style. It actually has this Defender name stamped and pushed back, so you have a nice tray you could use to put a couple Snickers, maybe a Payday or two, or smart engineering. You actually have a USB where you could plug in your device and then just have it rest on this tray. I like the oh crap handle built in with the stitch work, all soft touch material. Even the way that the infotainment system, like that's my hand back there. I don't know if you can see it, but my hand is actually behind the whole system. What's fun about that is that, say your significant other is saying, don't eat the Twinkies, you could hide them behind here and say, I'm not eating anything. Nice, beautiful 10-inch infotainment system screen, navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You could have your 3 different selections. You just push, real easy, touch on the screen. The way they integrate the AC vents, Very clean on the top portion of the dash. I'll throw it into reverse, show off our cameras. So here's our on-road cameras, nice trajectory, 360, and then you also have your off-road, and then you're just hitting the button. Really great to where you could now see different directions depending on what you're doing, and then you just go back to home. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This is our shifter for our ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. I love the style. It's got all these different interesting quirks that just makes it sexy in a way. Here's all your AC controls. So you have dual climate controls. The way that Land Rover does it is you push. Now you have ventilated seats, heated seats. If you want to adjust your blower fan speed, it's all through the same button. It may seem complicated. I promise that it's not. This is where you raise and lower the Defender, real easy to do. And then as we drop down, you actually have a bridge system. So this center console area is a bridge. I got a nice storage area down below. And then you're gonna have in this open air area, a USB-C, a USB, and also a 12 volt. Nicely placed. Here is our Land Rover key fob with that British racing green. Flip it around, nice touch. You got a nice little pad here for your phone that's gonna grip well. And then you lift this up, you got wireless charging and a cooler. So if you like cold Twinkies, you just press that button, you could chill your Twinkies. What guy or girl doesn't want a nice chilled Twinkie? And then you can just shut it off once you're done, just like that. Put the back, you have that neoprene material, the stitch work is great. And then seats, it's a hybrid system. So you have this very rugged cloth with the leather perforated all the way down. Beautiful design. I think with the cloth, it actually gives it a nice off-road element, full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. And then you think about the amount of room in here, you're gonna have a full panoramic sunroof. I like the lighter headliner, and then watch this, the cherry on top. There's Victor, there's the mirror, and then we hit it. Now you got a camera out the back. Look how clear that is. You can watch TV on this. That's how clear the graphic is, and then you just go back to mirror. Nice touches in this Defender. Why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this all new triumphant return. All right guys, here we are, business time. You do have 3 memory seat settings, which is nice, easy to get to. I like the way they have this flat gray trim with the color of your particular Defender. Makes it really awesome. In case you forget what kind of vehicle you're in, they have it stamped there on the sill. Seat controls really get the seat to conform to your body very nicely. And then of course you're gonna get all weather protection with these beautiful Land Rover mats. Let me get my foot out of the way so you can see the Land Rover badge on there. They're official, I promise. Seating position, like I said, plenty of headroom. Steering wheel has the perfect thickness. Even the little touches, like they give you a cubby over here. Like if somebody gives you a Hostess cupcake, you don't have to put it on your lap or hold it in between your legs and squish it. You can hold it right there for later as you're going off-roading. Thickness on the wheel, spot on the money. Love the horn button, the Defender name. They brought some of that flat gray onto the steering wheel, which I think is a nice touch. Thumb wheel controls and everything. And then check out the display. 12 inches of perfection, something you probably never heard. 12 inches of perfection in this Defender. They really did a great job with the fonts, the colors. You have an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel, which is really nice. And looking out over the hood, great visibility. Let's check out the back seat and see how much room your passengers have as you're off-roading in the Defender. All right, guys, we're in the back seat of the Defender. The great news is when you have a nice flat roof, everybody gets tons of head space. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. Even with the panoramic sunroof, it's like I almost feel like I can hold my arms up like I'm on a roller coaster. And maybe that's how it's gonna be when you go off-roading, like a roller coaster. Backs of the seats, brought some of the leather. Look at this smart engineering. Look at this. You got a USB built right into the back there. So smart, so you don't have cords all over the place. Nice large pocket. Bring some books about Land Rover, the history of Land Rover. Learn about the history of your vehicle, or make your passengers do that. You can put that in the pockets here. Nice little command center, AC vents. I wish they were in the frame, but I do like the way they brought them up top instead of down low. You have the same beautiful style on the knobs for your AC. And then check this out, USB, 12 volt, 12 volt. They got you covered connectivity wise. Tons of space in here. I feel really good with the seating position, to be honest with you. It feels really, really good. And then armrests, massive, large and in charge, digging the style. I don't know if Victor could show it, but look at the cool, I love these little roof windows here, just like the original Defender. That's what they did. They took the past and brought it with the present and gave us a vehicle that, I'm telling you, I'm not even a big SUV person. I wouldn't mind parking one of these in my garage if it would fit, or the driveway. But let's go ahead, let's check out the cargo area, and since we're talking about fit, let's see how much room we have back there to fit our off-road equipment. All right guys, time to get into that cargo area. Like I showed you earlier, you have that nice handle, you push the button, opens up, you have a nice hydraulic strut to keep the door open. 2 pockets there. Behind this plastic cover, you're gonna have your hazard triangle in case you're stuck on the side of the road or helping somebody get unstuck in a situation. The Defender name kind of stamped right in there. And then as we work our way in, the challenge is the shape. It's got a cool shape, but for getting large objects, like wide objects, it's gonna be a little difficult. But touches that you'll find on the Defender are like these cloth security shades. So it's real simple. Instead of like a hard material that kind of is bulky, you have this really nice light material. And look how easy it is to kind of just go through, and you can flip it all the way, you can take it all the way out actually very easily. So boom, 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 get what you need in. Now with the seats up, you are looking around 39 cubic feet of space. You fold those seats down, you're looking at almost 70 cubic feet of space. So once you get past this opening, you're fine. You do have a 12 volt over here on the right, and you have LED lighting and the controls. These controls right here are to raise and lower the back while you are positioned here. But why don't we get to the best part? If you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's take this Defender for a spin. All right, guys, big moment. We just left Reeves Land Rover, also known as Land Rover of Tampa, and we're in the new Defender. Really special because I remember seeing this, bringing it to you from the LA Auto Show at the end of last year, and just kind of surreal to be driving it, especially this one, the color, the way that it's optioned. I personally would go for the 90, but the 110 has plenty of room, and I think that is gonna probably be the most popular out of all the different trims, is to get a 110. And I think with this P400 having that 6-cylinder power and everything, is gonna make it a pleasure to drive, whether you're on asphalt or going off-road. Visibility out the front is phenomenal. Out the back, you do have the spare mounted to the rear door, so that is gonna take up some of your visibility. But other than that, I mean, side mirrors work great. The touches, I'm actually digging this neoprene material. I actually am starting to like it a little bit better than leather. And even though most people would say that this interior, at least some people would say it's not very sexy, it's so utilitarian looking in a great way and so functional. Where the ZF 8-speed shifter is, it's nicely placed. You got your AC controls, and where the screen is mounted, no glare whatsoever. Going down the road, even with those optional Land Rover approved off-road tires, there's not a ton of road noise, which is crazy to think about. I mean, normally when you go at a little bit more aggressive tread pattern, you're gonna get that sound difference, but not at all. Brakes work well. Let me go ahead and get on throttle. ZF drops down and we are off. Nice sound coming into the cabin. Like I said, the handling, I think, is gonna surprise you. Now, we do have it in the lowest setting right now because we're on the street, but here's the cool news. At Reeves, they actually have an off-road section where we're gonna raise it up and we're gonna actually show some of the off-road capability of this vehicle. And that's really where this thing is gonna shine. It's comfy and nice. You can cruise around the mall parking lot in this Defender, but this is really meant to go off-road. I mean, if you really wanna see the full capability of this vehicle. And the great news is we're not gonna have to really get it dirty. The course doesn't use real turf, it's all artificial, but wait until you see the angle of entry. It's going to be a heck of a ride. But steering wheel, great. That 12-inch display, the color, the font, as we go into this right-hand bend, super smooth. I mean, look at this. This is wonderful. I I would love to have one of these. I mean, just from the look standpoint, there's not nobody's gonna confuse you with any other SUV. There's no way, unless they know zero about cars and SUVs. But even on this tighter road, for its size, it's easy to maneuver around things. We're going over this speed bump here. It's just gonna soak it right up. No big deal. But the seats are great. I like the combination. Normally I'm not a big cloth fan, but this cloth is like heavy, heavy duty. Almost feels like something you would have on a textile motorcycle riding jacket. So the wear, it's gonna wear really, really well. Where the armrest is for the center console, perfect height. And believe it or not, you actually can option this without a center console. So if you really want to go bare bones, you could go a little bit more bare bones and not have the 110, go the 90, and actually get center console delete. You still got tons of storage in here, even if you go that route. But even going over that speed bump there, really, really just crazy how it just soaks it right up, and then you stop on a dime. All right, guys, we got out of that tight back road area. Now we're on something a little bit more open. I'm telling you, the road noise, it's crazy how it's not really noticeable. It's so smooth. And the position that you're in, like the seating position, even in the lowest setting, the visibility is phenomenal. I would love to take this on a serious off-road excursion. That's how capable of a vehicle this is. All right, guys, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of everything. We did some back road, we did some little bit more open road. Now we're on the highway, and I'm telling you right now, it's like riding on a cloud. That's how comfy it is. Now, as we go faster, so I'm doing about 65 right now, you are getting a little bit more wind noise because of those mirrors. But remember, this shape of this vehicle is not about being ultra aerodynamic and cheating the wind. And still, it's not too bad. But the comfort is definitely there when it comes to the overall driving, which is wonderful. All right, guys, we're back at Reeves Land Rover. It's now time to showcase some of the off-road capability. I have Harley, one of the expert people here at Reeves Land Rover, that's actually gonna walk us through what I'm gonna do to get this down their little test course. So take it away.
All right, so first we're gonna throw it into neutral.
Okay.
All right, so then we're gonna also put it into low range.
Low range.
What's that gonna do is gonna tell the vehicle that we're gonna be going off-road, going over rocky stuff, just so it tells it's gonna also higher the RPMs and all that.
Okay.
We're gonna put it into terrain response of rock crawl.
Rock crawl, nice.
What that's gonna do is gonna change the air suspension. It's gonna put us into off-road height. You're gonna feel it go up.
I feel it going up right now, yeah.
And then it's gonna go up.
So it's kind of like a front, I feel like a front,
Yep.
back, front, back.
It goes to the front and then does the rear. So then after that, you're gonna put it into drive.
All right.
But first I like to show the 4x4 data.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it's going to tell you the angles that you're at.
Oh,
it's
nice.
It's going to show you all your air suspension intact and your lock diff.
Oh, very cool.
So
I like that. All right, here we go, guys. This is a cool little course that only Reeves has, no other local Land Rover dealership. So what kind of approach angle is, as we're getting...
You'll be able to see it right
Okay,
here.
cool. All right, slowly. This is what it's right about here.
Like you're not even gonna go over 1,000 RPM.
Well, yeah, just slow and steady wins the race. So right now we're at like 20 degrees.
And what's cool about this vehicle is that I'm off the brake and the gas.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be able to.
I like that.
Stay here.
It's nice.
And then just.
Yeah, very confidence inspiring. That's what I'm feeling from being behind the wheel. Just very confidence inspiring. And it's crazy, the technology.
Up here. And then from here, you're going to be able to use the hill descent control.
Okay.
Which I'm going to let go of the brake and the gas.
It's like a cruise control for going down.
And it's going to do it all.
Nice.
And then from here, you're going to pick it up from here.
Whoa. Are we okay here?
Of course.
This is awesome. This is what I'm telling you guys. You're just not, wow. 29, almost 30 degrees of angle, and we're shaking it, we're rocking it, and we're not rolling, so that's a good thing.
And then you just keep going.
Wow, so controlled, so composed. It just shows the technology and what the Land Rover brand is all about. Yeah, driving around the mall parking lot's fun, but this is what the capability of this vehicle is.
So right now you have the front
left is off
and the back right.
So now we're like
off.
almost like a little teeter-totter.
So most vehicles you would not be able to open your door.
Wow.
So if you open your door,
It could open up the door, huh?
Open the door and close it like it's nothing.
Wow.
And then use back.
Super slow.
And you're done.
So there you go, guys. We were able to kind of showcase a little bit of everything for the all-new Defender, back again, better than ever. We're gonna go ahead, get this parked, wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. Guys, it's been a wonderful day here at Reeves Land Rover, also known as Land Rover of Tampa. I definitely gotta thank Javier and the rest of the team getting us the all-new 2020 Land Rover Defender. As you can see, from a styling standpoint, they definitely have knocked the ball out of the park, and from a performance standpoint, it does the business side of things, and really, I think is gonna open people's eyes up to, hey, I want something a little bit like that Defender if they're looking at other brands. But if it's vehicles like these that you want to see on Raise Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raise Rides merch. Got to give it up to Victor getting this Defender. He wants to take it home. He's trying to figure out a way that he could just take it home. I think Javier has an issue with that, Victor. So we'll work it out. But just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.